So you have a strap. This is something new for tonight. Go ahead and unwrap it and just make sure you know where your rubber band is because we're going to roll them up again. I'm going to have you guys lie on your backs. And put the bolster over on the right side of your mat. So we've got the blankets. You may want to have a little blanket like I've got it here. It's unfolded for padding. Bolster to the right side, pillow under the head. Okay. And then lay down with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. You can unroll your strap. Now this is a hamstring stretch, and as we practice it, I'm going to talk about why it's important to stretch out the hamstrings when we're feeling a lot of stress and anxiety. So once you get down, the first thing that we'll do is bring the right knee into the chest, and you're just going to hold the knee. Just let the knee kind of relax into the belly. And experiment with extending the left leg to the ground. Just kind of slide it out and see, is it comfortable for you to lay with the right knee pulled in and the left knee straight? If the answer is no, you're going to rebend the left knee and stay with the left knee bent, at least for this first stretch, okay? So your choice. Once you've figured that part out, you're going to take your strap across the middle of the strap, across the ball of your right foot. Don't wrap your hands around the strap around your hands yet, so hold it loosely and extend your legs straight up into the sky. Now, if you are not very flexible in your hamstring, your leg should be angled pretty far toward the front of the room with the knee completely straight. So try not to be bending the knee because we are trying to stretch out the back of the leg, and the only way we can really get those muscles to stretch is if the knee is extended. If you're more flexible, you can angle your leg a little bit more toward the ceiling so that the leg is more vertical. Okay? Then walk the hands, once you've gotten the angle where you want it, walk your hands up the strap until your arms are also straight. Your shoulder blades are still on the floor. Your head is still on the blanket. And at this point now, if you want to wrap the strap around the palms because it's easier to hang on to, that's fine. So really relax into the shoulders. Press a little bit into both of your feet, so even the left foot. Feel the stretch in the back of the leg. So I'm sure everyone has heard of the stress response, the colloquial, what we call the stress response. Have you heard of the fight or flight response? Yeah, so this is somewhat of a common concept, but it has changed over the last few years. There's been additional studies done on it. The fight or flight response, what that means is that when we are experiencing a stressful situation, the body's reaction is either to fight off the invader or run from it. Okay, so we're gonna come into a different position now, and I'll continue my little story. So put both ends of the strap. You're going to hold the strap in just the right hand. Your left arm is going to come to the floor, out from the shoulder. Look up at your foot and turn your whole leg a little bit out to the right side. And we've got this bolster that's lying beside us. So let's make sure that the bolster is pretty close to your hip. And then keeping your leg straight, you're going to lay the leg straight out to the right on the bolster. The closer the bolster is to your body, the easier it is. So if this is a hard thing for your body to do, you're also welcome to use more than one prop there. You can have like the blocks under there or a blanket. Push into your heels. Maybe rest your right elbow on the ground. Keep your left hip on the floor, if you can, so try not to roll to the right. So back when we were perhaps being chased by saber-toothed tigers, when we were faced with that really life-threatening situation, the body would respond by secreting adrenaline into the bloodstream and cortisol into the bloodstream. And these two hormones essentially would prepare the body to either run away or to fight. If we perceive in that moment of stress that we could fight the saber-toothed tiger off, a lot of blood and energy would get sent to the arms so that we would be able to fight. If there's a perception that we would be able to run away, a lot of energy would get sent to the legs so that we could run. All right, so we're going to come up from the center. So take a breath in, lift your body all the way back up, or your leg all the way back up. Take your left hand onto the strap, both sides of it. Now let your right arm come to the floor. Keep your legs straight. You're going to lift your right buttock off the floor and just let the leg cross a little bit over from center. So the leg goes to the left, the right shoulder stays on the floor. So what tends to happen in modern times is we have a lot of other types of stress. We have stress about money, we have stress about relationship, about our job, about our health. And we hold those stresses chronically. So they're not, it might not be that we're getting ready to be attacked by something like we used to be, but the body's reaction to it is not really that different. We still have these very intense reactions. And the problem with it is that over chronically held stress in the body, it starts to affect how we feel. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in now and pull the belly in and roll yourself back to the center with your leg. And then let the strap come off and bend that knee and hug that knee back into the chest. And then let the leg down on the floor and stretch both legs out if that's okay. If that's not okay on your back, you're going to just bend your knees and put your feet down on the floor. Pull your, before we do that, let's bring our bolster to the left, so just slide it around the body. Pull your left knee into your chest. And experiment with taking the right leg out. It should be pretty easy to do that now because we already stretched that side out. And then wrap the strap around the center of your foot, and you're going to let the left leg now go up in the air. And remember, this placement is really important. So it isn't going to help you if you're struggling with this. You want to be able to breathe, and you want there to be some ability to kind of relax into it. So figure out how angled the leg should be. The further it is away from the crown of your head, the easier it is. Okay? Then make sure the knee is extended. Wrap the hands with the strap if that's helpful to you. Relax the shoulders into the ground and press into both feet a little bit until you feel stretch in the meat of your calf muscle and in the meat of your hamstring muscle. So one of the theories is that if we are if we're a fighter, if we have a fighting personality, we will tend to get a little more tight in the muscles around the shoulders and arms. If we tend to be more of a fleeing personality, we tend to get a little more tight in the legs because the body prepares us to flee, but we don't, and we get tight. Now, I actually have both. So I must be vacillating. I'm not sure what I want to do. And I think that's a very common reaction. We physically can't, like if we get into a situation at work, we can't fight or flee. We have to just stay there. We freeze. So the body just gets tense. Everything just tenses up. Okay, so take both ends of the strap into your left hand now. Looking at your leg, you're going to spin the whole leg to the left. Go ahead and let your right arm come down to the ground and let your left leg go straight out to the side. The bolster's there to stop you. Okay, so it shouldn't go all the way to the floor. It should be any angle that feels comfortable to you. You get a little bit of a stretch on the inside of the thigh. So some recent studies have actually been done. It was at the University of Wisconsin last year and at Harvard about the need for us modern humans to have human contact when we're stressed. That's actually our first reaction now, rather than to fight, physically fight, or to run away. It's to seek connection with other people, which is a wonderful way to, I think, show that we are evolving into these modern situations that we find ourselves in. That our personalities and our way of dealing with things is changing, which is really good. And that stress actually is not the as much of a problem as we might think that it is in some cases. So we're going to bring the leg up to center. And I'll explain that in just a second. Hold the strap again with your right hand this time. Your left arm now can go down to the ground. You're going to keep your leg straight and let the leg come across to the right side this time. Your left buttock might actually leave the floor. So when we do have stresses in our life, it's usually a pretty big signal that there might be a lot going on and that we may need to slow down, we may need to take better care of ourselves, we might need to reevaluate things. And that ability for us to change and to modify what we're doing, maybe we've taken too many projects on, is really helpful in order for us to stay mentally calmer. Okay, one more breath there. And then as you take an exhalation, you're going to draw that left hip down to center. The leg's going to come up. You're going to bend that knee into the chest and let the strap come to the floor. And this time, let's straighten the legs out for just a moment. So left leg down to the floor as well. Stretch out through the feet, press your heels forward. And then take a breath in, and we're going to take the arms up toward the ceiling. So you've got like train track arms. And just follow the thumbs up until the arms go over the head. They may or may not reach the floor. That's not the goal. Just stretch them as far as feels good. Take a couple breaths there with the body extended. And then as you breathe out, the arms are going to come back down to the sides. Bend your left knee. Put your left foot on the floor. Do the same with the right. And then bring your left knee into your chest all the way and follow it with the right. So now we've got both knees hugged in. Hold those knees in close. And if it feels good to you, you can rock a little bit from side to side. Good. And then we're going to, from there, just go ahead and roll with whatever side it's easier for you to get up from the floor from. Roll to that side. And use your hands to push your body back up to a seated position.